Lee here. It's assembly number 1 and it's the week beginning the 6th of June. Did you have a lovely half term? Can you put your thumb here if you did? Fabulous. I hope that you enjoyed the weather. It was a bit of a mixed bag, wasn't it? Anyway, here I am back in school, ready to share with you lots and lots of things that are going on this half term. We've got 7 weeks together before we have to say goodbye to the year 2s who will be joining the junior school. Oh, what exciting things have we got planned, I wonder. Right, shall we start with the routine? I think we should. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? Well, I can see that the long hand, the minute hand, is on the number 12. And I know that that means 12 o'clock. And I can see that the short hand, the hour hand, is pointing towards the number 11. And I know that that means yes, you're right, it's 11 o'clock. There you go. What else? Well, we've gone into a new month. So we're now in the month of June. And the lovely Mrs. Turner has changed our language of the month display. You can come down and have a look, read the books if you want to, and there's always some activities for you to do there. Anyway, the language of the month is Greek. We're going to learn to say hello in Greek. Greek is spoken in lots of countries, but mainly Greece. You might go there one day. Lots of people like to go there on holiday. It's a very important country. It has so much history. Anyway, let's find out how you say hello in Greek. It's yasu. You say yasu. Brilliant. Now, also, we have our Makaton sign. Our Makaton sign has changed. The Makaton sign I've chosen links to lots of the things we're going to be doing this half term. Can you read this word? It says aeroplane. Now the way to do the aeroplane sign is to put up your thumb and your little finger and move it along. Aeroplane. You do it. Aeroplane. Aeroplane. Now why has Mrs. Lee chosen aeroplane? Well, you might have seen in our research centre that we have changed our display and the whole school is going to be thinking about flight. We're going to be thinking about aeroplanes, but we're going way back in time, children, to when the first aeroplane was created. Because we are being great explorers. We're going to find out who created the first aeroplane. You might already know. If not, have a look in the research centre. Lots of books to have a look at. Shall we go see? Ready? 3, 2, 1. All these books are about the Wright brothers. There's books to read and there's activities to do, including colouring. Make sure once you've read the books or done the colouring, you clear away after yourselves. You can also come and have a look at all the questions with pictures along the corridor. Make sure that you are using your phonics and that you are not scribbling here. It's only for writing. Right, now if you go into the research centre, you need to take a research centre reading stick. Now there are only 5. Here is a research reading stick. Make sure you put it back once you've read with it. Thank you. And that's because we want to keep it quiet. At lunchtime, lots of the grown-ups are still working, so they don't want children inside being silly. We want children who are going to be sensible and read. So there's lots of things for you to read, but there's also lots of things that we don't want you to touch. So let's have a little look and see where there is a tick and where there is a cross. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, you can read these books here, but please don't touch these books, the PSHE books. Please leave these ones alone. You can read these books about online safety. But all these books in the brown boxes need to be left alone. You can read all these books here on the bookshelf next to the cushions. You can read these books here, just by the doors. And of course, you can come and sit outside Mrs. Lee's office and read any of the books here. Just put everything away. Right, hopefully you now know what you can read in school at lunchtime and what you are not allowed to touch. Hopefully you're going to find out lots of things about aeroplanes. Right, I'm so excited for you because lots of you are going out on a school trip this week to go and see some aeroplanes. Have a lovely time. And remember, you're part of Hertford Infant School, just like I am. Now, I've got my lanyard on. It's a blue lanyard, and so hopefully you know that when you see somebody wearing a blue lanyard in school, they're okay to be in school. If you see somebody wearing a red lanyard, then hopefully they are with somebody who's got a blue lanyard on, and they're okay to be in school. Sometimes we have grown-ups with black or yellow lanyards on, and again, that's okay. Now, if there's somebody in school and they haven't got their lanyard on, that's not a good thing. You need to go and find a grown-up and tell them there's somebody over there and they're not wearing a lanyard. And then we will make sure that they get a lanyard on. Can you help me? Oh, you're so helpful. Thank you. Right. Now, did you see outside Mrs. Lee's office? Lots of new books. All those books are there for you to read. And this is one I've chosen. And I've chosen this one because, if you know Mrs. Lee, she's always thinking about how can we all make ourselves go that little bit further, that extra mile. And this story is about a girl who, way back in the past, wanted to go on an aeroplane. Well, she wanted to fly. All right, now aeroplanes weren't like what we know today, which we're going to find out about in our learning. She saw somebody in an Airbus. Now, you might not have ever seen an Airbus, but if you go on the internet, you can find them. In fact, I might show you a quick picture. You ready? Here are two different designs of airships or Airbuses. As you can see, they're absolutely huge. In the second picture, can you see these people? How small they are compared to it? So we're going to read this book. Mrs. Lee's chosen this book called The Flying Girl from my books outside my office. This book is about a young girl called Aida de Acosta and how she learned to soar. Now, if you look really carefully at the picture, you can see that she's not in clothing that you would wear these days. In fact, when we open up the book, we can see that the costumes, the outfits that the people are wearing are not like normal day costumes and outfits that we would wear now. And if you look, you can see the vehicles here are different. And wow, there's that Airbus up in the sky. Should we find out? Can I see your good listening ears? Super. One day, a girl named Ada was strolling on a lively street in a lovely city when she glanced up and was dazzled by the sight of a huge balloon that glided gracefully as a whale-shaped moon. And below the balloon, an airboat dangled, and inside there was a man. There's the airboat. If that man can fly, then so can I, said Ada. All I need are some lessons and a chance to try. Ada's mother scolded. No, silly girl, don't be so bold. Aye, no one will ever marry a girl who dares to fly. Good thing or not a good thing? But Ada had a dream now, a wild dream of soaring, and she did not care to marry anyone who thought dreams were boring. So Ada asked the man to teach her the art of airship flight. The inventor of airships, whose name was Alberto, agreed to show Ada how to start a motor and steer, turn left, turn right. Lessons on the ground weren't easy, but Ada worked hard and soon learned how to pull this lever, tug this rope, drop the ballast, believe, practice, hope. I like that. Believe, practice, hope. One evening, Alberto invited Aida to an aerial dinner with tables as tall as elephants served by waiters who walked on tilted stilts that made them look like silly giraffes. At dinner, Alberto said that his airships were meant to be chariots of peace so that people all over the world could meet one another, develop friendships by flying backwards and forth. A nice idea, isn't it? When Alberto invited Aida to ride while he drove an airship, she cried, "No, no, no! I won't be a passenger. I want to be the pilot." Alberto was amazed. Aida was just a teenager, and no woman or girl had ever flown before. Good thing or not a good thing? But no one had believed Alberto's wild dream of motorised flight could come true either, not until he invented his airship. So Alberto realised that if he could fly, Aida could too. All she needed was courage and a chance to try. On a clear summer's day, Aida finally had her thrilling chance to pull this lever, tug that rope, drop the ballast, believe, rise up, hope. Like a whale-shaped moon, the airship's enormous balloon soared above the busy city and out to the countryside. It sailed over farms and cows and sheep, high above heads of excited children who cried out, "Look, look, it's a girl, and she's flying!" And from her dangling airboat, Aida smiled down at the children. Then she frowned as Alberto, who was on the road far below, frantically pedalling his bicycle and waving a handkerchief, he tried to show her which way to go, even though she'd already told him she didn't need his help because she had practiced. Alberto got tangled in a thicket of trees and fell far behind. Aida kept flying high above roads and rivers, completely alone, truly free, until finally she reached her destination, a green field where swift polo ponies swirled and leaped like dancers. Aida landed skillfully, planning to watch the daring game, but on the ground she soon found out she couldn't climb out of the airboat. Her dress was too fancy, her skirt was too tight. So she wriggled while the children giggled, and until in the end some helpful men had to tip the boat sideways so she could slide out almost gracefully without too much of a bumpy toppling tumble. I told you they used to wear funny clothes in the olden days. Aida tried to watch the horses, but angry strangers surrounded her, shouting, scolding, calling names, saying she was too bold, too brave, too different, too strange. Does that matter? Girls, they hollered, should only be allowed to learn how to cook, sew and clean. But girls, they bellowed, should never be taught how to fly huge machines. Good thing or not a good thing? Just then, Alberto finally caught up, still pedalling his bicycle, eager to cheer her. "You did it! Hooray!" he shouted. "You're a hero!" Such a brave inspiration for all the girls of the world. Aida smiled, Aida laughed. Yes, yes, yes! Aye! She was the first, but she was sure she would not be the last. Every child who had seen her glide so high above roads and fields was probably already singing, "If that young lady can fly, so can I. All I need are some lessons and a chance to try." Sometimes, Aida said to Alberto, all it takes to change the whole world is one wild dreamer's soaring example. There you go. And that's what Aida actually really looked like. She was born in 1884 and she died in 1962. She certainly wasn't the only lady to be a pilot. If you think, I'd like to be a pilot, Aida could way back in the past when people didn't think it was good for girls to do that sort of thing. You certainly can do it now. All you've got to do is believe, dream, hope. There you go. That's a lovely book. Now that's outside Mrs. Lee's office. If you want to come and read it, you can. All right. There's lots of other books to read on flight, more about aeroplanes. I hope that you have a lovely, lovely first week back at school. Hopefully the sun is shining and that you are remembering our golden rules. There's 7 of them, and they are here to keep us happy and safe, aren't they? Make sure that you are being kind and helpful in all the things that you do. Right, I'm going to finish there with the school prayer. Remember, you can close your eyes, put your hands together. I don't mind, but I do want to hear you say the words. Say, not shout. Ready? Help me to do the things I should, to be to others kind and good, in all my work and all my play, to grow more loving every day. Amen. Right, children, bye-bye. Have a lovely week.